It started as a regular afternoon for a young boy named Marcus, who was out selling candy to help his mom with some extra cash. With a bag of treats in hand and a hopeful smile, he approached a parked car on a quiet street. But as Marcus stepped closer, something inside the car caught his attention. His cheerful demeanor quickly changed to concern. Through the slightly cracked window, he noticed something unusual, something that didn't seem right. His heart raced as he tried to make sense of what he was seeing. Marcus knew he had to act fast. Instead of knocking on the window or walking away, he pulled out his phone and dialed 911, his hands trembling. What exactly did Marcus see inside that car? Why did it make him call for help without hesitation? Stay tuned to find out how this incredible story unfolds. Marcus couldn't shake the strange feeling as he stayed near the car, watching and waiting for help to arrive. The neighborhood was usually quiet, a place where kids played freely, and everyone knew each other. But today it felt different. The car's windows were slightly tinted, making it hard to see clearly. All Marcus could make out were odd movements inside, jerky, almost frantic, like someone was in trouble. He tried to stay calm, but questions filled his mind. Who was in the car? Were they hurt? Or worse, was someone in danger? Marcus thought about walking away. After all, he was just a kid. But something deep inside told him he couldn't ignore this. He glanced around to see if anyone else noticed, but the street was empty. The seconds felt like hours as he kept an eye on the car, clutching his phone tightly, wondering if help would come in time. As Marcus waited, the sound of his heart pounding was louder than the distant hum of traffic. His mind raced with possibilities, each one more troubling than the last. He thought about his mom's advice, always trust your instincts. Right now, his instincts told him something was very wrong. Inside the car, the movements continued, subtle but erratic, like someone trying to send a silent message. Marcus stepped back, unsure if whoever was inside had noticed him. He felt torn. Part of him wanted to get closer to figure out what was happening, but fear held him in place. What if he made things worse? Meanwhile, a neighbor's curtains shifted slightly, and Marcus realized someone else might have seen the car too. Should he knock on their door for help? The sound of distant sirens finally broke through his thoughts, but the situation felt far from over. Something about that car still didn't add up. The sirens grew louder, echoing down the quiet street, but Marcus couldn't tear his eyes away from the car. He noticed something else now, a faint smudge on the driver's side window. Was it a handprint? His mind raced, piecing together clues that didn't fully make sense. The movements inside had stopped, replaced by an eerie stillness that made the air feel heavy. Marcus' legs felt rooted to the ground, but his resolve only grew stronger. He thought about how anyone else might have walked by without noticing. Why did this have to happen when he was out here alone? Still, he knew he had done the right thing by calling for help. The sirens were almost upon him now, and Marcus spotted the flashing red and blue lights reflecting off nearby houses. As the police car pulled up, two officers stepped out, their faces tense. Marcus pointed to the car, his voice shaking. "It's that one. There's something wrong." The officers nodded at Marcus and cautiously approached the car, their hands hovering near their holsters. Marcus stood back, his heart pounding as he watched their every move. One officer motioned for the other to circle around to the passenger side. They peered through the windows, their expressions growing more serious. Marcus couldn't hear what they were saying, but their tense body language told him they'd spotted something. Just then, the officer on the driver's side reached for the door handle. It was locked. He knocked on the window and called out, "Is anyone in there?" "Are you okay?" No response. The eerie silence only made the situation more unsettling. Then, out of nowhere, the car's engine roared to life. The sudden sound made everyone jump. The driver's side window rolled down just a crack, revealing a pair of panicked eyes. Before the officers could react, the car sped down the street, but the officers were quick to react. One jumped into their patrol car and gave chase while the other stayed with Marcus, asking for every detail he'd noticed. Marcus explained the strange movements, the smudge on the window, and the panicked eyes he saw. The officer reassured him that calling 911 had been the right thing to do. Minutes later, the radio crackled with an update. The car had been stopped a few blocks away. Inside, the officers found a scared teenager who had stolen the car in desperation. What Marcus had seen was the teen trying to figure out how to hide when he spotted the patrol car. As the situation de-escalated, Marcus felt a wave of relief. The officer praised him for his quick thinking and courage. Walking home, Marcus realized that even small actions could make a big difference when you trust your instincts forward, tires screeching. Marcus froze, realizing this was far from over.